everybody out there, this is Seto, and as you can see by the playmat guys, we have Herman, Raviel, and Uriah. And today for you guys, we are going to be doing a deck profile of all three of the GX gods, as I call them. I know there's a proper name for them. I think they're called the Phantom gods or something, but I've always referred to them as the GX gods or the lords because they have Herman Lord, Raviel Lord, and Uriah Lord. So without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. This deck is very good. It's very consistent. It got some new support recently, which makes it very playable now. So it's very powerful, and you can probably take it to locals and maybe even win in today's meta, actually. But I've been testing it online for the last 3 months, and I did a deck profile a while ago of it, like 2-3 months ago, but online. But it's a lot. I've changed the deck up a lot and tested it out a lot. So yeah. So first off, you run your 1 Herman, Lord of Striking Thunder, your 2 Raviel, Lord of the Phantasms, and your 1 Uriah, Lord of Searing Flames. Blech. So we run double Raviel because number 1, he's a dark attribute. Number 2, he can be used for a whole bunch of different plays in the deck, and he can interact with a lot more cards better than Herman and Uriah. Herman, I usually go for first because of his effect. It's very nice. If you have him on the field, your opponent can't attack other monsters you have, so I'll read you that effect, which is pretty cool. When this card destroys your opponent's monster by battle and sends to the graveyard, you do inflict 1,000 life points, if I didn't mention that. Your opponent can't, if this card is in face-up defense position, your opponent can't select other monsters for attack targets. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll bring out Herman first, and maybe go for a rank 4 play in the deck, because along with being just focusing on these guys right here, the deck is a pretty good rank 4 playmaker actually. It's pretty dang good because you have your Stygian Street Patrols and can do a whole bunch of rank 4 plays. You have your Summoner Monks. So there's a lot of different versatile usage you can go for, like first turn Herman and a rank 4 play like a giant hand to stop something, or something depending upon their deck you can counteract it very easily. So we run double Raviel because he works with Dark Grepher and he's an Allure of Darkness target in the deck. And these being the only 2 non-darks in the deck, they don't mesh as well. Uriah, you do run 4 continuous traps, so you can bring Uriah out by his own effect. He usually, when he does come out, on average in this deck, he's a 2,000 to 3,000 attack monster because we run 4 continuous traps in the deck. So he's decently easy to get out and very useful. And if you get all 3 of them out, you can bring your Armor Tau Chaos Phantom out and just kill people if you're able to do that. But it's very cheeky to do that, I guess you could say. Next we run your 3 Dark Summoning Beast in the deck. Dark Summoning Beast is the reason I even invested in this deck, along with the field spell Fallen Paradise. They recently came out of Duelist Saga, so they're very good. Dark Summoning Beast is very useful. If you guys know what he does, you can tribute him off on the field and bring out one of these 3 guys from your deck or your hand. Problem is, you can't conduct your battle phase that turn. However, you can conduct your normal battle phase and then in main phase 2, tribute him off and bring out one of these guys. So you can still conduct your battle phase and then in main phase 2, tribute him off to bring out another god on the field. So there's different ways you can get around that little clause of not attacking that turn to still have a monster on the field and conduct your battle phase. If you don't believe me, you can actually look that up online or play online with the deck and you'll find out very quickly, yeah, you can still conduct your battle phase if you use it. Proper sequence and use of cards and interacting with your cards properly. I hope that made sense there. I know I kind of mumbled my words. But yeah, 3 Dark Summoning Beasts pretty much gets your GX gods out. Dark Attribute, worked with Dark Grepher, a whole bunch of other things. And you don't mind banishing with Allure of Darkness because we run 3 Return from a Different Dimension, which I'll show you some combo plays later on in the video. Next we run 3 Stygian Street Patrol. This is your rank 4 playmaker, number 1. I love my secret one over here, but it's a rank 4 playmaker, and also it helps bring out Dark Summoning Beast. So if this card's in the graveyard, you can banish it from the graveyard to bring out Dark Summoning Beast, then tribute Dark Summoning Beast to go for one of your gods, or your lords. Phantasm Lords, that's what they're called. I was like, I'm gonna remember it when I do the video, but they're called the Phantasm Lords. Now I remember. Lord of Phantasm, that's why they're called that. But yeah, you can just banish the Stygian, bring out your Dark Summoning Beast, tribute that off for a god or a Phantasm monster. So yeah, 3 Stygian Street Patrol. And it also has some other applications too, which I'll talk about in a bit. Next, you run your double Dark Grepher or an Armageddon Knight. So these are your dumpers in the deck to send things to the graveyard. You can send, depending upon your hand, like if you have multiple dark targets in your hand, you can use Grepher. You can search them out through Warrior Returning Alive. Warrior Returning Alive, Rhoda, Reinforcement of the Army. You can search these 3 targets out. This is good if you have a lot of darks in your hand. Armageddon Knight's good if you have a lot of traps in your hand. So say I got a hand where I got these guys in my hand, like Escape and Call the Haunted. I can be like, okay, Armageddon Knight, send to the graveyard, set up my place with Dark Summoning Beast, and go off that way on my opponent's on my next turn. Or it can be used for, these guys can be used for beat sticks, 17/17. They can put in a little bit extra work if you already have for damage if they have no monsters on field. Also, Armageddon Knight does work with Summoner Monk because we run Summoner Monk in the deck. So these help you go for rank 4 plays, set up your graveyard. They're dark attributes, which means they work with Allure of Darkness, and they're your starters for your deck in some way, shape, or form. But you don't always need them. There's 3 different ways you can get Dark Summoning Beast on the field. But this is one of the ways, along with Stygian. Then we run Summoner Monk. Summoner Monk, it helps you go for rank 4 plays in the deck. Pretty simple. You run a lot of spell cards, and sometimes they can be dead. Like if you have double field spells in your hand, you can pitch it for Summoner Monk. Or if you have double Transmodify in your hand, well, you can pitch it with Summoner Monk for rank 4 plays. Bring out Stygian Street Patrol. Go for an Exceed play, detach. Get this in the graveyard, and then maybe go for a Dark Summoning Beast because you may have this in your hand. After you attack main phase 2, go for Dark Summoning Beast. Tribute off for one of the Phantom monsters. Different plays you can do with Summoner Monk. And then he also works with Armageddon Knight and Jirai Gumo, so he's never dead. And he's a lower darkness target because he's a dark monster. So that works as well. Next up, we have your double Jirai Gumo and 1 Phantom of Chaos. Now, people really like Phantom of Chaos, and I understand why, because if one of these guys is in your graveyard, Herman, Raviel, Uriah, you can copy their effects. They become that monster, gain that attack, and can copy their effects, which is cool and awesome, and I get that. However, Jirai Gumo works out a little bit better. I like this as a one-of because it's a fiend. These are fiend-type monsters, which work with Transmodify, okay? But Jirai Gumo is a little bit more versatile. Phantom of Chaos is good mid to late game all the time. He's alive, especially if you've already gone through this. But I would rather draw Jirai Gumo, and I originally used to run triple Phantom of Chaos, then I cut it down to 2 of, and now I cut it down to 1 of, because from playtesting I found Jirai Gumo was putting in a little bit more work. Jirai Gumo is very awesome. So I'm going to read you Jirai Gumo's effect. He's a card that's been out for a while. He was played early in the Cosmo era when Cosmos first came out. During either player's battle step, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if you do, gain 1,000 life points. Awesome. You can only use the effect of Jirai Gumo once per turn. Okay? During either player's turn, you contribute this card, then target 1 face-up monster you control. It gains 1,000 attack. Okay, you may not think that's a big deal, but it really is, because you can bait your opponent in to bad plays. So first off, he's a rank 4 playmaker. Second off, he's a fiend, which works with Transmodify. He's a dark target, which means he works with Allure of Darkness and Dark Grepher. Third off, he has some 2 decent good effects, because you can be like, okay, I gain 1,000 life points, and we are running solemn cards in the deck, so hey, make these guys more alive, right? Second off, or just take, be able to take more battle damage. Second off, his effect is good because I've had people try to go lightning over cards and exceed monsters, or they'll try to get around certain cards, and I'll be able to go, okay, I dropped the Jirai Gumo. Okay, they'll be like, okay, I gain 1,000, cool. I can now tribute off, or if I'm on the attack, I can tribute him off for gaining more attack from my monsters to kill them. or get around certain monsters they have on the field, which is awesome. So he's multi-dexterous. Literally, there's like 3 or 4 good things I pointed out about him. Dark, Fiend, rank 4 playmaker, and he has 2 good effects. One decent effect, one other decent effect, which makes one good effect. So he's got like a whole bunch more applications than Fan of Chaos. And I wanted a Fiend that was more versatile to use with Transmodify, that was good. And he's a hand trap in a way. So, I mean, I chose him over more of this. But I do like this. If you want to go for more of an Armatile build, maybe run more of this. But if you want just a good solid build of these guys, run this. Try it out. Play test it. I promise you Jirai Gumo will put in work for you. So double Jirai Gumo and 1 Fan of Chaos. Fan of Chaos, like I said earlier, is pretty good too. On to the field spell. We run triple Fallen Paradise with 1 Terraforming. Fallen Paradise is amazing. It pretty much makes your GX gods like towers. So I'll read you the effect. Your opponent can't target Uriah, Herman, or Raviel, or Armatile the Chaos Phantom, which is awesome, in your monster zones with card effects. Also, these monsters can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects while you control them. Cool. If you control any of these cards, Uriah, Herman, Armatile, Uriah, whatever, you get to draw 2 cards. You can only use the effect of Fallen Paradise once per turn. So number 1, it makes your cards very hard to get over. So it makes these guys, Herman, Raviel, and Uriah, hard to get over, and makes Armatile also hard to get over, which is awesome. But that draw 2 is awesome. So if you get one of these guys out, which it's so easy to do, and you get this, you can be like, draw 2. And once you start drawing cards, usually if you've used Fallen Paradise twice, the effect to draw 2, you've drawn 4 cards deeper into your deck. And usually I can't think of a time I've lost a game when I've done that. Unless my opponent has like an overbearing deck that I don't know what the heck I'm doing, or I made a huge misplay. It's such powerful, and some people like running double Terraforming because this card's so good. I like this ratio. You can try different things, but I like the 3 Fallen Paradise and the 1 Terraforming. If anything, Terraforming just thins your deck out a little bit more. So depending upon the ratio you want to run in the deck, from your playing how you want to play the deck, you could run more Terraforming, but that's up to you. But Fallen Paradise is amazing in the deck. Oh my gosh. Next we run 3 Allure of Darkness. Amazing in the deck. Do not be afraid to banish your Dark Summoning Beast. So say you got a very clunky hand, don't be afraid to banish your Dark Summoning Beast. If you drew into Allure of Darkness, you drew into your Escape from a Dark Dimension, because on your next turn you can bring it back. So if you got a very bad hand, don't be afraid to banish this from your hand if you're just having a bad hand overall. But 3 Allure of Darkness, more draw power into the deck. It's amazing. Go Allure of Darkness. I love Allure. Next we run double Transmodify, double Twin Twister. Transmodify works very well in the deck. It's pretty simple. You have Stygian Street Patrol. You have, where are they? Jirai Gumo and Fan of Chaos. So you have 6 targets for Transmodify. So what you do pretty much is you go with Transmodify, you go normal summon a Fiend monster. So let's go with the best case scenario, because you want Stygian in the graveyard. Normal summon Stygian, activate Transmodify, okay? Send these 2 to the graveyard, get out Dark Summoning Beast, tribute off Dark Summoning Beast for Uriah, Herman, or Raviel. Simple as pie. But double Transmodify, you want to run in your deck because it's really good, and you can pitch it with Summon a Monk if it's dead. Twin Twister, you can send your different cards to the graveyard. Sometimes if you have this in the graveyard, you can send some of these guys to the graveyard to get their effects, their monster name off to go into Armatile, which works. Especially if you want to run more of a Fan of Chaos build to go into Armatile more easily. If you can pitch Stygian to get it in the graveyard to get its effect off, which is nice. If you don't have a discarding outlet, so it's another discarding outlet, and Transmodify helps you go for your Dark Summoning Beast. So these pretty much enable plays, clear back row with Dark Twin Twister, so you can go off too, and not have to worry about solemn cards or whatever. Next up, we run for your one-ofs, Rhoda, Foolish, Upstart, Regeki. Rhoda, thin your deck out. You can search for Dark Grepher or Armageddon Knight. Foolish, send your Stygians to the graveyard, or whatever else you want to if you got Phantom of Chaos in your hand. Upstart Goblin, more draw power, consistency. Regeki, clear the board, kill them, whatever. Next up, we run your traps. We run 3 Escape from a Dark Dimension and 1 Call of the Haunted. Some people like running more Call of the Haunted, and you can do that, but there's a play I'm going to show you right now that you can use with Escape from a Dark Dimension. So let's say we get, oh gosh, the only card you need is Escape from a Dark Dimension in your hand. And like I said, there's multiple ways you can get Dark Summoning Beast onto the field. You have your Transmodify play, you have your Stygian play, you also have your Escape from Dark Dimension and your Call of the Haunted plays as well. So you literally have 3 ways, realistically, you can get your Dark Summoning Beast out fairly easily. So, all I'm going to do here is I got to find my Dark Summoning Beast first, but there he is. So, let's just go with the standard play here. Let's go with the worst case scenario you got of bringing out a Dark Summoning Beast, quote unquote. Stygian in this. So you have these 3 cards, okay? Now remember, like I said, there's different ways you can do this play. There's 3 different ways. But let's go with this one. Stygian, Transmodify, Tribute off, Dark Summoning Beast. Okay? Dark Summoning Beast is on the field. I tribute it off for Herman. Cool. I banish Dark Summoning Beast. I use Dark Summoning Beast other effect to banish him from the graveyard to add a Herman, Uriah, Raviel to my hand. So let's add my Raviel. Now say I had a Lure of Darkness in my hand, I can now Lure of Darkness, Raviel away, draw 2 cards deeper into my deck if you had a Lure in your hand. Or, because your Dark Summoning Beast is banished over here, you can set your Escape from the Dark Dimension, then your opponent does their turn, it comes back to your turn, and granted this is a little bit slow, activate this, bring this out, main phase 2, if you had another play you want to do, tribute this off for a Raviel, another Raviel in your deck, or a Uriah. Cool. So, literally, depending upon if you draw your Escape, you can thin your deck out by 1, maybe set up targets for Lure of Darkness, as well as doing other cool little things. And you could run more Call of the Haunted, but I just like the Escape because I can banish the card, then I can bring it back. You know, I can bring this Dark Summoning Beast back, and I've thinned my deck out by 1, so, you know, card ratios and all that stuff. So it's really nice. So I like the 3 Escape and the 1 Call. Once you play the deck, you'll understand why I chose this instead of running double Call or something like that. But you could run easily double Escape, double Call. I was trying that out, but I went with just 3 Escape and 1 Call for this deck right now. But you can try it out different ways if you want to. For the rest of the deck, you run your Solemn Strikes and your Solemn Warning. So strikes and warnings. Next up, we run your extra deck. Oop, let's hurry up because my camera's about to die here. Armatau, you can go for this. He works with Fallen Paradise. Number 101, Castel, your Utopia package. I run this because sometimes you'll be low on life points. So Utopia 39, Utopia 39, Utopia the Lightning. Giant Hand works very well in this deck, especially going first turn with Herman, depending upon the deck you're facing. Number 70, Maleficent Sin, that just came out of Duelist Saga. This just came out of Duelist Saga. Gagaga Samurai. Master Key Beetle, because you run a whole bunch of darks and you can protect your Fallen Paradise. So Master Key Beetle works well in the deck. Gagaga Cowboy for game. Daigusto Emerald to recycle things and draw on your deck works out well. Depending upon the deck you're facing, you can go for number 103, Ragnar Zero. Diamond Direwolf comes in handy, and Kurgama Luminescent Knight, because he can help kind of redirect things if they try to destroy your field spell card. And then we run 2 tokens. I actually have the Raviel token, so double tokens just for Raviel's effect. If you guys know what Raviel's effect out, you can bring out tokens if they normal summon monsters, I believe it is. So yeah, double tokens for your tokens for the deck. So that is the extra deck. Pretty much just run rank 4s. The ones I would say you need to run are pretty much your Key Beetle and any other good rank 4 monsters. But yeah, that is the deck in a nutshell, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. It's a very fun deck to play. I love playing it. It's very powerful, and it's very enjoyable to play. Hopefully they come out with some support like this for Egyptian gods, and I would be so ecstatic. But till next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling. I hope you guys all enjoyed this deck profile, and I apologize if you didn't understand some of it, but once you play the deck, you'll understand.